Okay, here we go. So we're here with George Peter Gatsis, and we're going to talk about a very good show with a dumpster fire ending, to say the least. This show is called 1883, and it's basically, I'd say it's basically the Oregon Trail, like a movie of the Oregon Trail. If you ever played that game, it's just a bunch of people trying to get from one place to the other in 1883.
I think of it more as a snuff film.
Yeah, it certainly turned out. Well, yeah, that's about right. I'm gonna put this on. Yeah,
I think it's a snuff film because at the very beginning, the very first episode, the Sam Elliott character says, "Look, you're gonna get bitten by a snake. You're dead. You're gonna drink water out of the river. You're dead. Yeah, you're gonna come across bandits and rustle cattle thieves. You're dead. You're gonna come across Indians. You're dead. Right?
you fall off the wagon and break your leg, you're dead.
Yeah, you're dead." So it's, and my first thought was, okay, let's giddy up. Let's see where this goes. And
Yeah,
next thing you know, a couple episodes in, a girl goes to take a pee. She gets bitten on the ass by a snake. She's dead.
yeah.
The next scene is she's buried.
I've never seen a show where so many people die, man. It's just it's fucking bad.
Another girl's they're drinking water right out of the river, and she's got pains in her stomach because of bacteria. She's dead. Another grave scene right after that.
We are German people, and we can't speak to you. Will you take us somewhere so we can die? All right, let's do this.
Yeah, and even better, there's a scene where the father says, "I'm going to camp a little further away from everybody." Why? Because it's dangerous being around them? No, because they're stupid.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, the guy couldn't be around because they were stupid. that was the guy. So he does that. He tells them they're stupid. I felt the same way, but I felt bad for those people because he should not have taken them, man. That was like the whole thing was botched, man. He
Well,
just should not.
it was a gold rush back then. Everybody wanted free land and the what do you call it? The illusion of making it on your own and not being a slave to the kings and the lords in Europe. I mean, that's what they were escaping. That's why people came to America. They were serfs, and they were escaping the slavery of Europe.
No, I guess so, but it seemed like they just traded one for the other because it didn't end well.
Well, freedom is never cheap.
So let's start off. We'll go through the characters here. So this is pretty much the main character. They're the daughter on here, and she starts off this spoiled brat, and she won't listen to the mom and all this, and she gets along really well with the dad, and she spends the majority of herself just pretty much fucking any guy that comes across her. So she goes through what, like two guys on here. She meets the first guy, and she's gonna marry him and all this, and then he gets killed by what do you call it?
A bandit.
Yeah, bandit or whatever.
Yeah. She fell in love with the first cowboy. The guy that was herding cows.
Yeah, and then he gets shot, and then she goes crazy and shoots the guy that shot her boyfriend, and then after that, man, she just, boy, talk about an orgy. Jeez.
Yeah, she went a little cuckoo, and then she fell in love with the dangerous guy next, which was the an Indian.
Oh, here's the guy. This. Oh no, that's this guy here. This is her first boyfriend. Is this guy?
Yeah, she ends up marrying him.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out so good. A day later, he's dead.
Yeah, pretty much. So let's see who else. Need to find a thing with the parents on here. Let's see. Okay. So Tim McGraw. I really liked Tim McGraw on this. He was pretty good.
Is that the actor's name?
Yeah, yeah. He's married to Faith Hill, which we're going to talk about next. And I liked his backstory. I mean, you know what would be awesome is if they made a show just showing him in the Civil War and all that, because that would be. I would watch that because he's really good on here.
Well, the thing about the show is, I mean, they had really clever cameos like Tom Hanks
Yeah.
and whatnot. I mean, it was really just powerful cameos.
Yeah, Tom Hanks don't even say anything. He just stares at him.
Yeah, it just gives them that look, the a look of exhaustion and understanding.
So let's see, where's here. So his wife, Tim McGraw's wife, Faith Hill, is on here, and I didn't even recognize or know that was her because I mean I remember her back in the 80s and 90s. She's like a country singer and stuff, and
Yeah, do we have a picture of her in then and now?
I could probably pull one up. I guess we'll
Yeah,
have to look for.
yeah. Let's see what she looked like then, and let's see what she looks like now. Because I didn't know it was Faith Hill. All I knew was
Yeah.
she's a very fine actress.
All right, let's. Dang it. Let's see here. No, see, she looks good there. Let's see. Here, it's. Yeah, she don't look bad in a lot of these. Let's look at this one. Yeah, see, it's so hard to believe that that's her in this, man, because
Yeah, totally.
she she looked so haggard and just she looked fucking bad, man. Like I just could not believe that was her in this. I mean, she did a good job as the mother, but the thing that irritated with me with her being the mom was they were doing the woke routine. Like he's like the one that's really running the show, but he just lets her think she is, and she'll have like she'll come up to him and she'll be like, "Where's our daughter?" And he'll be like, "Oh, she went over there and did this." And he's like, "Well, why in the hell would you do that? Now I got to ride over there." And he's like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "I'm going to get my daughter." And it's like, I don't need your permission to do this. And Tim McGraw's just looking at her like,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, like what the hell is your problem? I mean, it was just.
No. He's looking at her going, "Yes, ma'am." Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's like,
whatever
and the funniest thing is her plan every time fails, and then he comes in and just kills people and stuff. It's like she does these stupid things, and she's always telling the other kid like, go hide in a chest, it'll be fine." Ooh, it's like, okay, whatever. So Sam Elliott here. This about says how I feel about that ending, man. This face says it all. So he's the guy that gets contracted to take these Germans from. I don't remember where the hell they were. Were they in Texas to Oregon or what? I can't remember, but wherever they wanted to go to Oregon, that was the main thing. So the first episode, he's asking them questions and everything, and he can tell they're just fucktards and idiots, and they don't know anything. You can't even. He has to appoint somebody that can speak English just to talk to them, and then he, for some god awful reason, decides to take these people on, which was just,
Well, $100 a head. That's a lot of money.
yeah, I guess. So he agrees to do it. So the first thing he does is he has all the people go in this room and take their clothes off to make sure they don't got diseases or
Yeah, yeah,
anything.
leprosy,
Yeah.
any kind of disease. Yep.
So this poor guy goes in there and he takes his shirt off and you can see he's got what was it, measles, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So it's it's so brutal when he says to the guy, he's like, "You're gonna die.
Yeah, just
Go."
go. Yeah, go bury yourself. Hey,
Yeah. you're you're screwed. We're not. I'm going to Oregon. Oregon, you take me. We pay you money. It's like, tell this guy he's gonna die, and then he just walks off. And then the rest of the show, he's just getting angrier and angrier and angrier because the people are just those poor Germans, man. He even gets to the point, like it's like you were saying, where he has to go and sleep away from them because they make him so angry. Like he just can't take their stupidity.
yeah.
So let's see here. Covered those two people. Those are the main characters, pretty much.
The black guy too.
Oh yeah, let's find him on here. Yeah, this is that him? Yeah. So this guy,
Yeah, that's a
this
guy.
guy's pretty good on this show too, and he's like the second in charge, and he ends up falling in love with one of the German girls, and
He reluctantly falls in love with her because her husband died because he was a dumbass.
yeah, and I don't even remember if they made it. Oh, they did make it at the ending. Him, and that lady and the kids did make it at the end, but overall, he's pretty good in this show. He's just like he's the second in command to, and Tim Graw is like. The funny thing about this show is Sam Elliott acts like he's the one running everything, but every so often Tim McGraw just gets pissed off and he's like, "No, we're doing this," and da da da, and then like Sam Elliott and him like butt heads, and then they get to this point or whatever where Tim McGraw's like, we're not doing this, and these people are gonna die, and we're not gonna hunker down in a fort. We're gonna carry on, or they're gonna die, and all this. And oh, here's Tom Hanks.
Yep.
Yeah, Tom Hanks comes on here. He don't say a single word. He just sits and looks at him, and they're both like recounting or just thinking about the dead soldiers and all. This would be a better show. I don't know why he don't make a show. I would love to watch a show, a spinoff of Tim McGraw and the Civil War and what happened and all that. Oh, and the other thing is Sam Elliott's character too. He's got like PTSD or something because they show a flashback of him in the Civil War, and some guy fires a cannonball, and this guy's head gets blown off. Then he wakes up screaming or some bullshit.
Yeah, Sam Elliott wanted to commit. Sam Elliott's character wanted to commit suicide, join his wife and kids in the afterlife, and he gets renewed, a sense of purpose when his partner, the black guy, I forgot his name,
Yeah,
just tells him, "Let's saddle up, let's go do something."
yeah. Let's go kill a bunch of Germans.
Yeah,
So this lady, this lady on the first episode is in this train with Faith Hill and that bratty blonde, and she's telling Faith Hill, your child's a spoiled brat and all this, and she smacks uh, that blonde across the face, and Faith Hill's like all embarrassed, and she's like, "Why don't you straighten your daughter out? She's an idiot and all this." She was right because the daughter's just an idiot on here. So, anyways, these bandits come in there, And it's so funny because this lady literally kills her own daughter because she thought the bandits were trying to rob her, but they just were going to get water. They were just minding their own business. And she starts throwing rocks at them and telling them to get out of here. So they get pissed off. So they said, fine. They just start shooting the place up, and this big shootout happens. And she causes her own daughter's death. And then, this is the daughter here, the one that dies. And she asks for a gun, and she offs herself after her. This whole show is just nothing but I don't know. It should be called Faces of Death, the Western version, or something, because it's just murder porn basically. Everybody's just offing themselves, and this is crazy.
Actually, that would work.
Yeah, that's what this show is. So, let's see here. They go through a bunch of crazy shit with these people. There's one episode where there's a tornado, and instead of just hauling ass away from the tornado, they decide to set the horses free and just leave their food and everything behind and go lay in a freaking dirt field. I just don't know what they were thinking. That whole episode was just the most retarded thing. So they have a hurricane and they lose everything instead of just taking all their shit and hauling ass out of there. I mean, yeah, the tornado was like, what, a couple of miles away? It was, I wouldn't say it was like right next to them, but they just panic and they're like, drop everything, run for your lives and all this. So they're just like running and they lose their food and all this stuff. And then more people die. And then they're trying to cross this river.
Oh yeah, the river cracked me up because it was a very simple crossing, and the Germans were like the moment they got in the water. Oh my God, I'm gonna drown! And they drowned.
Yeah, they can't even swim, and they don't even have the balls to tell the translator guy that they can't swim, so they have to go and concoct this like rope bridge thing so that they can just get across the fucking river. And then he gets pissed off because the horses and the carriages, they can't get through because they have all this like they have all,
like a grand piano,
yeah,
all these antiques.
yeah, it's all this grandiose crap like they wouldn't need. So they're like, no, we need piano because I make music. How I make money in Oregon if no have piano and all this. And he's like, fuck your piano if you want to get across the river, asshole, and all this. So they abandoned all their shit. They take all the crap out of the carriages and they just leave like big trunks in the middle of nowhere and pianos and all this shit. And they make it across, but a bunch of them die. This is a common theme in this show. Every episode, there has to be one or more people dying. So get used to that because it's always, it's just Oregon Trail. That's the best explanation of this show. It's this Oregon Trail, the show.
But the shootouts are awesome.
Oh yeah, the shootouts are fucking good, man. That scene where those guys try to kill Tim McGraw at the beginning and he just takes out those first two guys, and then he goes and grabs that sniper rifle, and man, he just kills all those guys while Sam Elliott and that black guy just casually come down and go, "Oh, nice shooting."
Yeah, you want to join us?
Yeah, like don't mind me. I'm just killing bandits here. So let's go to the next one here. So she ends up with this guy, and the mom is all pissed off because he's an Indian, and she's just like whoring herself out all over the place, and then she decides to marry him.
Yeah, well, no, she doesn't marry him until he gives the father a horse.
Yeah, he has to give the father a horse, and he's trained the horse in the water, and Tim McGraw's like, "You can't train a horse that fast," and he's like, "Oh, watch this," and he's like all surprised that the guy could train a horse that fast, and the mother is like, "You need to marry a Christian guy," and all this, and stop living in sin, and all this stuff, and how dare you marry an Indian? It's just this whole like bullshit thing they go through. So then after that, this is getting like towards the end now. They meet more bandits, more people die, and then they come across this. It looks like there was a shootout or something, and they realize that some the bandits or somebody did this to frame them. So they get spooked and they take off, and then these other Indians come and
Yeah. They come across an Indian village that, or what do you call a pop up Indian village, and everybody's dead, and they quickly realize that when the men come back home, they will look at the actual tracks, and they'll think that it's
yeah,
the caravan that actually did the killing. So the father and Sam Elliott and a couple other guys decide to go hunting the bad guys, but they told specifically everybody in the caravan to stay put.
yeah.
And that's when the butcher comes back and says, "I'm."
The fucking butcher guy. The butcher guy was smart, man. He's like, "What's wrong with you, dumbasses? Why did you leave all your shit in a tornado and all this, you stupid fucks? And you're fucking retards. I need to get the hell out of there." And they're just totally, he just totally owns them, man. They're just like, "Oh gee, oh that guy knew what he was doing and all this."
Yeah, so they all follow the butcher, and then they get surrounded by the Indians who are coming back and who discovered their village has been killed off, and they start killing off the caravan.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
And that's when
more,
that's when we loop back to the very beginning of this entire series.
yeah, and it's just the same thing over and over. Is that we're trying to go here, people are dying. Indians, we're trying to go here, people are dying. So the daughter here, she sees those Indians, and they start chasing her, and they start going towards the village, and she's trying to warn them, and then she ends up like trying to get away or something, and she barely makes it, and they have this big shootout again, and then there's other Indians, and she gets she gets an arrow through her
Liver.
yeah, through her liver, and after that the whole show is this girl is dying, and that's all the rest of the show is. It's just, oh, we can't help her, she's not gonna make it, and oh look, there's some other Indians, maybe they can help her, and they lie her down in a river, and they do all this stuff, and she gets better, but then she's upset because the freaking Indian guy's like, oh, she dies, she go to what you call heaven, paradise, whatever, and he's like, yeah, I figured that we weren't gonna make it to the fort, and we were just gonna go over here. So he tells her she's not gonna die, and then she gets all pissed off because the Indians told her she's dying. And then her dying wish is to go look at the. She wants to pick her headstone or some bullshit, and this is the last scene of her dying here, and she's just, man, this ending was just,
Yeah, basically that's the property of the Yellowstone Kevin Costner series.
yeah, yeah, because this connects to it or whatever.
Yeah.
She's going on about birds and all this bullshit, and he's just sitting there, and then I guess see. I don't know if she's dead or not. I think she's dead, right? Like I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
what that ending was
no,
because
she's dead. She died. She says to her father, "I finally understand, and I'm not scared." That's what she says, and then she dies.
yeah. And then the next scene is her in this
That,
field.
that's her paradise.
Yeah, yeah, it's like her own personal heaven or something where she's like, I could go be with this Comanche, and we're going to live our lives, and just doing the narration bit and all this, and then they cut to the. Oh, I forgot about this part. So the main German guy on here, let me find him. That did make me laugh. Uh, did he get shot? Oh, he got bit by the snake. Isn't that what it was? Oh,
He got his leg. He broke his leg.
okay. So he breaks his leg. I'm trying to find a picture of him on here.
He breaks his leg, and his leg is what do you call it, decaying. It's getting what do you call
Okay, this guy here. Here he is. This guy. So he's like the leader of the German people and
oh
the only guy that speaks English or whatever. So he's still trying to go to Oregon
oh
despite
no
his.
no 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 no. He didn't break his leg. He did get bitten by a snake,
Oh
and
yeah, it was the snake. Yeah,
yeah, they tried to suck out the poison, but it was too late. The poison made his leg into a like a stump,
yeah,
and it was what do you call it, becoming decaying, and they had to amputate it as quickly as they could.
yeah. So they cut this poor guy's leg off, and then he's laying in there with a stump leg, and his wife next to him, who's dead already, and he's just like all depressed about it. And he somehow makes it to Oregon and gets his land with one leg and his dead wife and all of this, and it's just that ending was just. And then we have the grand finale of Sam Elliott, who made it to the beach, whose whole goal was to get to the beach so he could see a hummingbird and then off himself.
Yeah. Well, he talks to his wife. Well, we made it. Look at that beautiful Pacific Ocean, and boom.
Yeah, this is the scene here. Once again, this is my feeling about the finale. This sums it up right here. This I can't say it better than this face. So he offs himself, and then the black guy is with this gal here, and he takes her and the kids, and they go and make land, and they start building their house, and that's pretty much the end of the show.
Yeah,
That's about it.
10 episodes.
Yeah, I like Tim McGraw the best on this, man, because he reminded me of the Mando on here. Like, I don't think he was a bounty hunter or anything, but he just reminds me of the Mando for some reason, because he's always coming in when there's a problem or something. Like, they go to this hotel at the beginning, and some fucking drunk guy breaks in the daughter's room, and he's trying to bone her and all this, and she's screaming, and he comes in there and just shoots this fucking guy in the head, man. It's really good.
Yeah, it was glorious.
Yeah, and then these other guys come out and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he aims the gun at them, and he's like, "Fuck off!" And then here we go. I want to show you this. This is. She looks worse than this, but look at how haggard she looks on here. I mean, she looks a lot worse than this at the end. At the end, she's pretty much in blackface. It looks like from dirt and shit, and her hair's all fucked up. I just couldn't believe this is Faith Hill, man. But I'll give it to her. Besides her woke shit with him on the show, she was pretty good. Like, I can't really say much bad besides that. I just didn't care for her whole shut up and you don't tell me what to do, and I'll go if I want to go. Fuck you and all this. Like, okay, geez, take it down a notch, man. It's like,
Yeah, that's right.
but the last couple of episodes are just about her dying and what are we gonna do, and yeah. So I hear they're making another show, and it's going to be the Duttons in 1930s or something, and that's going to be the next show of this. So it's going to be like the next. I guess they're just going to keep doing a next generation instead of you can't really make a sequel to this shit. I guess. I mean, I would really like to see Tim McGraw as the Civil War thing, though. Like, I really wish they would do that because that was probably my most favorite episode of him showing the war and all that. Even though it's just him on a stump looking at all the dead bodies and shit.
That's interesting because in Yellowstone they did a flashback. I think it's episode 9 or episode 10, where Tim McGraw is coming home from a shootout. Because he's a sheriff or something like that,
Yeah,
and then he finds out he was actually shot, and the last words he says is, "Please God, don't let me go out like this."
yeah. I don't know, man. I don't think they showed what happened with the wife and him. Did they make it? I can't remember. I don't.
Yeah, yeah. See, in the flashback in Yellowstone, this was long after the 1883 season, because they have a second child, and it's a son.
Have you watched Yellowstone? I've tried watching Yellowstone, but I don't know what it is about that show. I just can't get into it.
Yeah, yeah. I watched all of Yellowstone.
Maybe I'll try watching it again, but I don't know what it was. I just had a hard time getting into it, and it was like Kevin Costner was hardly on there, and it was that other guy, and it's like, man, well, I guess it cost a fortune having Kevin Costner on there because that's what you'd want to watch the show for. But
Well, it's a whole family, right?
yeah,
Yellowstone's about an entire family.
but the sad thing is, though, like most of those Germans died on here. That's the that's the main point to take away from this, man. And then at the end, um, I can't remember. Oh no, they didn't want to go to Colorado or something. And this is how stupid these people are. So just because they changed course or whatever, they decide that the land is flat, so now we can defend ourselves, and we're going to go do this. So they try to do this by themselves, and they show this scene of all of them dying.
Yeah, they were all killed by bandits,
Yeah,
as they tried to go on the trail all by themselves.
man, I don't know. Overall, I did like the show. It was just that ending, man. I just can't get over that fucking ending. It just, it's like, really, this is what happens? Like, you're serious?
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's pretty much our review. There's not really much else we can go with this. I mean, talked about the main characters. I can't say there was really any funny stuff on there that made me laugh, except for the tornado episode, which was so stupid. That whole episode was retarded, man. Like, they should have just hauled ass and got out of there. Why would you just abandon your horses, leave your wagons there, and then go lay in the bushes? What, you don't think the tornado can hurt you in the bushes? It was fucking stupid. Like, I just.
Well, now that you mention it, actually, I don't honestly, I don't remember anything funny about that show.
Yeah, like. The tornado thing made me laugh because it was so pointless. Like, I was basically laughing because of how stupid they were. I was like, well, you lost your food, you lost your wagons because you panicked. All they had to do was just haul ass out of there. That freaking butcher guy caught on. That guy knew to get the hell. That butcher. I was kind of sad that guy got it, man, because that guy was pretty good.
Yeah, he was funny.
You will take the steak when I give it to you. Tell them this shit. Oh, what's up, sir? Oh, so sorry. What does fuck mean? Like, god damn, man.
That was funny.
Alright. Well, thanks for watching. That's about it. Can't think of anything else to say. You have anything else you want to
Well,
say, George?
yeah, yeah. 7 out of 10. We're back again.
I'd say it was. I'd say it was probably for me an 8. I probably would have gave it a 10 if the ending wasn't so bad because I was really into the show and everything. And it's just like everybody dies, man. And I was just like, God, this is. I know they're trying to go for realism and this is the Wild West and shit happens and all this and but I'm like, God, man, that's all that. That's all that made it. That's all that made it to where they were going. Like, okay.
Well, back then it was kind of tough. It was they got no respect at all.
All right, everybody.
I mean, you think about it. They're sitting there, they're trying to mind their own business, and they all get killed because of things. No respect.
Yeah, that was man. I just that ending. I don't know. Like, it's a tough call for me between that and Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones pissed me off more, but this was just.
It was a close second. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I guess I would say it was. Yeah, Game of Thrones was worse. This was pretty bad, but Game of Thrones was way worse, man. But this is. It's almost a tie when I think about it. But my biggest thing is I would love to see a show with Tim McGraw and just Faith Hill like before all of this and the Civil War and stuff. That would be really awesome. I don't even well, Sam Elliott would be interesting too, but I don't know how you would do that because you'd have to have a young Sam Elliott, and then you're like watching this go, and this guy offs himself, so it's like I don't know. It's kind of like that Black Widow movie where like she's not gonna die, so
Yeah, yeah. Where's the danger? She's gonna. That's right. I remember now the Black Widow movie. There was no danger. It's like, yeah, the chick's gonna be alive till the end game. You know, or absolutely zero. They should have brought that Black Widow movie out before they did Endgame
yeah,
or
yeah.
Infinity
It was
War.
too late, and then they changed Taskmaster to that zombie chick.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, not Jamie Foxx, but you were gonna have like some awesome black guy playing that, some buff built black guy, and
Well,
no,
they
and
did actually have a guy play the Taskmaster. All the fight scenes were done
oh
by.
yeah, 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 it was him with the helmet on, but it was her when they took the helmet off.
Oh my god, that cracked me up. I go, where's it's so much for your ideology bullshit. You have to have a yeah, you have to have a guy do all the stunts. Where's your ideology bullshit now, bitches? God,
Yeah,
that was so stupid. It blew my mind. I go like, are you kidding me? You couldn't find a stunt woman. You couldn't find a stunt woman.
yeah, and then Disney's whole thing is we're diverse and we like black people and all this, and then they turn it into a white. Well, that girl's a Ukrainian
Yeah, yeah,
supermodel or something.
yeah. But on top of that, you think of all this bullshit that's going on, and equal pay and all that stuff, equal jobs and whatnot. Well, you know what? If women really are making less money per hour than men, and but doing the same work, then why aren't all the corporations just hiring women?
I'm just glad I don't have to work anymore because I've heard horror stories how it is now. I mean, I talked to this guy I used to work with the other day, man, and he's just telling me, yeah, like they got guys in dresses in there with mustaches and high heels, and you can't say anything to them, and they spend all their time trying to harass you to get you to say something to get a lawsuit going. And
No shit.
I'm just like, I'm glad I don't work, man. Like, I don't think that would end well for me because I just,
Oh my god,
yeah,
that's legit. Holy smokes.
yeah. I'll tell you where it's at after this is off. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. That's about it. Any last words, George?
Uh, um, uh,
Oh, we should probably talk about your show and stuff while we're here. George does on Fridays and Saturdays, and I do it with him and another Denali, where we roast movies, and it's like old time movies, like 40s and 50s,
And
and
60s
it's
and 70s and 80s and 90s,
yeah,
2000s.
yeah, until we get taken down again.
Yeah,
You can catch it on Peter Gatz's channel there. We have all the past ones we've done, and it's always Fridays and Saturdays. It's 6 o'clock my time and nine
and,
o'clock you said for yours or
yeah,
whatever.
9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
All right, so there we go. We got that. So I'm gonna end this now. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah, bye bye.